In the early 20th century, the city of New Orleans was alive with music, culture, and energy. Jazz clubs filled the streets, people danced late into the night, and the city carried its unique spirit of life. But, beneath this vibrant surface, fear was slowly spreading. Between 1918 and 1919, New Orleans was terrorized by a figure who would become one of the most chilling, unsolved mysteries in American crime history. He was known simply as the Axeman. The story begins in May of 1918, when Joseph and Catherine Maggio, an Italian grocer and his wife, were brutally attacked in their home. Both were struck in the head with an axe as they slept, and their throats were slit with a razor. It was a shocking and gruesome crime that stunned the community. Police found no signs of robbery, no clear motive, and no suspect. But this was only the beginning. Over the next year, a series of murders and attacks shook the city. Families were targeted at random, victims were found in their beds, their skulls crushed by the sharp blade of an axe. Sometimes the murder weapon came from the victim's own home, taken from the kitchen or the backyard, then left behind, bloody and broken. Most of the victims were Italian immigrants or grocers, leading some to believe the crimes were connected to ethnic hatred or mafia rivalries. But nothing could ever be proven. The city lived in constant fear. Windows were locked, doors were reinforced, and families slept together in one room for safety. Rumors spread faster than the police could control them. Was the killer a madman, a criminal with a twisted obsession, or something more supernatural? No one knew for sure. Then came the letter. On March 13, 1919, the Times-Picayune newspaper published a chilling letter, allegedly written by the Axeman himself. In it, the writer mocked the police, calling himself invisible, a demon from hell who could never be caught. But the letter contained a strange and terrifying demand. On the night of March 19th, the Axeman declared, "Every house in New Orleans must be filled with the sound of jazz music. Any home without jazz would face death." The city erupted in panic. But New Orleans was, after all, the birthplace of jazz. That night, every club was packed. Every home blasted music from phonographs and radios. Bands played in the streets and families danced nervously, hoping to protect themselves. Strangely enough, no murders occurred that night. The city had obeyed and the Axeman disappeared into the shadows again. After that, more killings followed. In August 1919, Steve Boca, another grocer, was attacked in his sleep but survived. In September, a young girl named Sarah Lauman was struck with an axe but also lived. The randomness of the crimes, the brutality, and the lack of any solid evidence frustrated the police. Despite several arrests and suspicions, no one was ever convicted. Witnesses gave conflicting descriptions. Some said the killer was tall and dark, others swore he was small and shadowy. The mystery only deepened. By late 1919, the killings seemed to stop as suddenly as they had begun. The Axeman vanished from history, leaving behind only questions, theories, and terror. Some believed he had died or been imprisoned for another crime. Others thought he simply moved to another city. And there are those who still whisper that the Axeman was not human at all, but a creature of evil who fed on fear. More than a century later, the Axeman remains one of America's greatest unsolved mysteries. His crimes inspired books, music, and even episodes of popular TV shows. In fact, his infamous letter about jazz has become part of New Orleans folklore. It is said that on that single night in March 1919, the entire city united through music, not out of joy, but out of fear. The legend of the Axeman is more than just a true crime story. It's a reminder of how terror can grip a community, how fear can control our actions, and how sometimes the darkest mysteries are never solved. The killer was never caught, and his identity remains unknown to this day. Was he an ordinary man with extraordinary cruelty, or was he something far worse, a figure who thrived on chaos and death?